Hello everyone, Bournemouth are making waves in the transfer window. Scott Parker's got one of his targets through the door, third transfer of the season for AFC Bournemouth, and he's going to be very happy this evening. Marcus Tavernier is moving north to south and will play for AFC Bournemouth in the Premier League, £10 million, plus a couple of mil of add-ons if the deal goes well. And we're going to react to it very much now in this video. We're also going to get a lowdown on the player from Boro Breakdown Podcast, so make sure you hang around. Please hit the like button on this video, subscribe if you're new to the channel. We want to get your thoughts at the end of this video down below in the comments. This video is sponsored by Aquashine Exteriors, professional jet washing and cleaning services across Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole for all your guttering, driveways and much, much more. Please do check them out. Details in the description, including their website, also their socials, including Instagram. You can also give them a number to get a free quotation. Do check them out. Thank you to Aquashine for the sponsorship. Marcus Tavernier then, he's a young player, a versatile player who added 5 goals and 5 assists for Middlesbrough in the Championship last season. Looking for a move to play in the Premier League. He's taken this move to Bournemouth. And where's he going to fit in? That's going to be an interesting information that we're going to have to digest, because Ryan Christie plays off the right. Jaden Anthony's going to want to start on the left. Sariq Dembele's in the side. Where does Jamal Lowe fit into this? Rockwell signed on a free transfer, and Philip Billing's going to want to prove himself back in the Premier League. But a player that can also play at fullback, he can play at left back if needed. I'm sure that's going to be a rescue package. So yes, look, a player that can add value for AFC Bournemouth, and a player that looks like will show energy, determination, and I'm hearing is a very good professional. Well, I do want to know more about Marcus Tavernier, and the best way to do that is to speak to a Boro fan. A very good podcast coming up, by the way, Boro Breakdown Podcast. Johnny took the call. He agreed to come on. He's going to give us a lowdown on Marcus Tavernier. Let's get into it. So it's great to have Johnny from the Boro Breakdown Podcast on this latest transfer video. Johnny, great to see you again. I'm sure you wish it was on better terms, but look, we're going to use your experience and your knowledge of Marcus Tavernier to tell us more. But it's good to see you.
Yeah, really good to see you, mate. I know it could have been better. Like, I know you say on better terms, but always a joy to see you, Kirk. So I was more than happy to come on and speak about him.
Fantastic. Marcus Tavernier, he's moving north to the south, and Bournemouth fans, Johnny, are going to want to know what type of player we are getting. We've seen a little bit of Marcus Tavernier. His stats were pretty decent in the Championship, but come on, what are Bournemouth fans potentially going to see in the Premier League next season?
I think he's a really, really good footballer, Marcus Tavernier. Very well-rounded, hard-working. You'll see him in both boxes, running up and down the pitch. I think last season, Tav, if a Bournemouth fan is looking at his stats and they're thinking, his assists are quite down, he's not really scoring many. Tav was let down massively by his strikers last season. He would have registered a lot more assists if we had better strikers in front of goal and weren't wasting every chance that they got. In terms of Tav, he likes to progress with the ball. He can bring it up and down the pitch. You know, his possessional play is very, very good. But I'd be very intrigued to see how Scott Parker plays him, to be honest, because when he was a little bit younger, there was always the debate of, is Tav a winger or is he more of a central player? And me, previously, I thought Tav should be better on the wide, let him develop. We have more time on the ball, and that will probably help him in the long run when he goes to a more central position. And then probably over the last 18 months, especially under Chris Wilder, he's played much more of a central role, and he's been absolutely brilliant. He's been one of Boro's best players of last season. He'll take the step up from the Premier League very easily, in my opinion. I'm pretty gutted that he's gone. But I think Bournemouth have got a really, really good player in Marcus Tavernier. But I'm keen to see how Scott Parker positions him, because I feel like if he plays him left wing back, I'm not going to lie, he's not his brother. He's definitely more of a central player.
That's really interesting what you've said there, because we've got enough central midfielders. We've brought in Rothwell as well. We've got Ryan Christie on the right. David Brooks has come back from cancer. He's beat that. We don't know how long it will take him to get match fit. We've got Jaden Anthony, Sariq Dembele. We are short of a spare left back if Jon Spark can't cut it in the Premier League or he has an injury. I mean, I've spoken to some Boro fans, including your own podcast, and they say he's very, very versatile. But For £10 million, I think Bournemouth are looking at a player long term. Like if we don't stay in the Premier League and we drop back down to the Championship, we've got a very good player, a very, very good player. But I'm interested to see, can he break into this team? Because if he sits on the bench for a few games, I mean, what do you think his mentality will be? Or would he just keep working hard to try and get his way in?
Tav's got an outstanding mentality. Honestly, very, very hard working, passionate on when he's playing as well. I think his attitude has never ever been in question in terms of a player for Middlesbrough. And if he was out the squads, I'm sure he'd be chomping at the bit to get back into the Bournemouth team. And like you were saying there, you've got a lot of players in the central positions, so it'd be interesting. I think he may be playing out wide under Scott Parker, but again, he's not going to let you down. He's very, very consistent, and I think that's what Bournemouth fans will want in the first season back in the Premier League. They'll want consistent players playing at 7 or 8 out of 10 each week, and you'll get that with Tav. A very, very consistent, really good attitude, and a good footballer as well, to back it up as well. So I'd be intrigued to see where they're going. Like you were saying, I'm intrigued to see where he's going to play him. But if it is left wing back, it's not the end of the world. But for me, he's more of a central player.
Also, would I be fair in saying he's quite good from a dead ball point of view? I mean, you don't get many chances in the Premier League, and if Scott Parker's looking to get a draw and he puts Kiefer Moore on the pitch and Tavernier's whipping one in, I mean, is he looking to where he could score goals other than Dom Solanke?
Questionable delivery. I mean, his corners weren't amazing, but I'll tell you, they have improved. They've gradually improved year on year. So I was really hoping this year would be the year that he's taken more of the corners and getting like more of a direct free kick, and he'd be in that conversation, but. Questionable is probably the best way to say it, Kirk, to be honest. But he's improving. He's still a young lad. There's still time. There's still time to be an expert in the dead ball situation. But questionable.
We'll look into that. We'll watch that all season. Right, it's only fair. We've got you on here, Johnny. It looks like it's going to be about £10 million with a couple of million of add-ons if Bournemouth do very well, I suppose. How does this look for Middlesbrough from your point of view? Are you happy with the money? Would you have rather have kept the player and not been bothered about the money? Where are you at from your club's point of view as you go into another Championship season?
It's always disappointing to see a player or one of your better players leave a football club, but I think it's obvious that there's a Premier League club that's came in for him. His ambitions to be in the Premier League. He was going to play in the Premier League at some point in his career anyway, whether it was with Middlesbrough or it's with a different team. And he thoroughly deserves that move. And there's no bad blood or anything around the move. I think everyone's just more gutted that we've lost him. It does leave us short. We've only really got 14 players plus 3 goalkeepers at the minute. Force is due to sign as well, and we are in the market for quite a few players, like 2 or 3 strikers, a left centre back, 2 midfielders now. Probably we'll look for more cover on the right hand side as well. I mean, we've just signed Tommy Smith, but he's more of a versatile player. And yeah, it's good. We're upset to see Tav leave. I think I appreciate that. I don't think Bournemouth was like a. It's like kind of they've just went up. Like I thought I would have preferred it if he went to something more established, like maybe like a Southampton who are like now in there, but they might struggle this season. Like a more of a mid-table Premier League side. I thought, well, why couldn't you just stay for one more season? Chris Wilder's building something. We look like we're going to be up and around the playoff places and hopefully pushing for promotion this season if we get the right players in. So everything's rosy in a Middlesbrough perspective. So it was like a little bit wounding to see him go. But in terms of money and where we're at as a club, Middlesbrough have changed the way that they are now. We're a much more sustainable club than we have been in previous years. We're looking to bring players in, add value to them, and then sell them on for a much better profit. Tavs came through our system. We've got £10 to £12 million for him. We got up to £20 million for Jed Spence, who we got in from Fulham on a free because he was released and joined our academy, came through. Yeah. We're making good money and good value from players now. So Middlesbrough fans should expect players like this, if they are good enough in the Championship and we're not going up, they will probably get picked up by a Bournemouth or someone who's newly promoted, and they'll look to do well. So For Boro right now, not nice that we're losing a key player towards the start of the season, but we have got a replacement in Riley McGree, who is just as wonderful and just as brilliant. And I'd be more wounded if he left now, because I think he's just got so much potential as well. So, but yeah, like, disappointing to see him go, but Middlesbrough's future is still bright regardless. I think the money's good, and we can reinvest that into different players, and hopefully we can kick on. But Tav, all the best for him, honestly, all the best for him in Bournemouth this season. You've really got a gem, and I think it's a really good sign for Bournemouth. I just hope that he cracks it in his first season.
Big shout out as well to Dana, who also gave us a
Yes.
detailed, informative lowdown we requested last week. It was really helpful to get an understanding of Marcus Tavernier, and appreciate you, Johnny, coming on here as well and actually giving us a vocal point of view as well. You look confident. Dana was confident that Marcus Tavernier can make the step up. And finally, for any Borough fans that are checking this out, do you have any early expectations for Middlesbrough in the Championship this season?
Oh, I think, look, my prediction is playoffs, and hopefully get promoted from the playoffs, and that will give me closure from the Norwich defeat a few years ago. But that's where I'm kind of at the minute. It just depends. I think we've got the best manager in the league in Wilder, a really, really good coup from the club, and hopefully he can build a team that is going to go good for promotion. And maybe we might see you next year in the Premier League. Who knows?
That would be great. Rather the Premier League than the Championship. Love the Championship, though. An amazing league, by the way. But yeah, we all want Premier League, don't we? Johnny, thanks for coming on. Boro Breakdown Podcast details will be in the description. Check them out this season. Love your podcasts. Go check them out. Johnny, wish you all the best for the season. Thanks for this. I'm not sure we'll cross paths again. I'm not sure if there's any other players we're on radar for.
Yeah.
But it'd be great to see you again at some point.
There's always an FA Cup tie, third round on a Tuesday night replay or something stupid like that. We'll meet you at some point this season, Kirk. I'm sure of it. But thanks for having me on, mate. I really appreciate it. Always good to speak to you.
Have a good season. We'll speak to you soon.
Speak to you soon, mate. Take care.
Cheers. Marcus Tavernier will be in the red and black stripes of Bournemouth, lightning strikes, especially at home. And this player, where does it rank in the transfers then? Because is it a good deal? Is it a bad deal? Are we undecided? Look, I like the player. I really, really do like the player. Technically a good player. Got goals in the locker. Can create assists for Dom Solanke and Kiefer Moore. We're going to need to score as many goals as we can in the Premier League to stay up. But the money, to me, it seemed a bit high at the time because we're not spending money like we were in the Premier League the first time. We're being cautious. The only other signings we've made were on free transfers. So 10 million, I wasn't sure about. But you never know, I might be wrong. We might go and spend 15 million on a centre-back next week, and all of this will be absolutely incorrect. But look, we're not signing him for today. We're not signing him for one season in the Premier League. The club are looking at signings for 2 and 3 years, especially if the worst happens, we get relegated and end up back in the Championship. And the likes of Marcus Tavernier and Joe Rothwell in the Championships will be very good players. So look, Johnny's done it for me. I'm going to edge towards a transfer hit. And Marcus Tavernier goes in there with a transfer hit for Joe Rothwell as well, and Ryan Fredericks. And a point to also make out that Alex Smithies is training with AFC Bournemouth. I marked this deal as a free transfer when he was released from Cardiff. We need a backup goalkeeper. It's a cheap deal. He's going to want to play Premier League football at some point in his career, as his career's going past 30. And it's someone we need just in case Mark Travers gets injured. Get this deal done, get it over the line, and let's put all our energy in getting that centre-back before Aston Villa or before the transfer window's out. I want to hear your thoughts. Please do tell me in the comments. I want to read them. I want to know what you think about Marcus Tavernier. Are you happy? He can fill loads of positions. Do you think he's going to get goals and assists? Can he make the step up like Johnny said in the Premier League? Get them in below. Do you think Marcus Tavernier is a transfer hit or a transfer miss, or are you undecided? Thank you to Aquashine Exteriors for sponsoring this video. Also, thank you to our monthly members. You can become a monthly member at buymeacoffee.com/Cherries Red Army or make a simple donation. Marcus Tavernier is an AFC Bournemouth player in the Premier League season. Thanks for checking out this video. We'll see you on the next one. Up the cherries.